I'm just gonna list some ways that I've noticed people try to steal my pure, amazing energy. So straight up, I have a very powerful magnetic aura right now, and when I was working customer service every day, going like transit, it was like a battle because people on the way are always so strange. People act weird. They essentially try to steal my energy. So essentially, ways that people can do it is essentially when you're sitting on the bus or walking, they will look at you from the profile from far away on the side, somewhere that you can't see them. And then they're gonna start attaching energetic cords to you, or dumping they're gonna start trauma, like dumping, like, how should I say, shooting their shitty energy on you. They dump their shitty energy onto you, or they start shooting evil energy at you, evil eye. So you start feeling uncomfortable, or maybe unconfident, or nervous, or anxious, and or even scared sometimes, or threatened. And so what happens? You start looking around for that bastard, and essentially you locate them, and essentially, like those, I forgot what that guy's name is. He wrote a book. No, I forgot, but essentially Godford Nettle, I don't know. But essentially, he's like awareness, right? Awareness is so powerful. When you are focusing your awareness to something, it's like shuts them down, because they know already. Oh, they know what I'm doing, so it just shuts them down. 'Cause essentially, you can reflect the energy back. There's another way is, this is a very interesting one that has happened multiple times to me that I've recently known, but actually it happened to me a lot when I was in my youth, because I'm 35, and I've been fucked around energetically, pulled here, left, and right, tugged energetically, emotionally, my whole life, and now I know. But essentially, you're on the bus. You're sitting in the middle on the say you're in the back of the bus, and there's a row of 5 seats, and this could be anywhere. You're sitting in the back, and essentially there's someone in the corner. So essentially, this person, eventually when they leave, you're gonna have to shift a bit. But essentially, this person knows that you're an empath, and especially when you're an empath, you're very aware of others. You don't want to affect. So this is the problem with good people. Good people are very conscious of others. We're very aware of other people's energies, so we're trying to not affect. And essentially, if someone pushes you, bumps you, they did on purpose. I don't care what anyone says. But it could be also that they're really highly attracted to you. So it could be like, you have to be careful with that too. So anyway, but I'm very big, and I can walk through a crowd and not touch anyone. Not But people like to come and charge through me because they want to, you know, steal energy, get aroused from you, like trigger you, rage bait, right? That's because the emotions are energy. Yeah, that's how people steal energy. Or when you're focusing on them, right? That's how that's how these celebrities, they make these videos, and you focus on their video, and then they steal your energy. That's how these magicians of reality work, right? But essentially, this is what they do. So the guy's sitting in the corner, and then he starts doing shifting, like random fidgeting to make you thinking, oh, he's gonna get up now, and then you start moving, and you're always consciously thinking about, oh, when this person's gonna get up. Well, I'm telling you, when they start doing this fuckery, you solidly plant yourself, and you don't give a fuck. You don't move at all. And once it's their turn to move, you don't even fucking move. You let them fucking knock your knee, and you say, hey, have a nice day, dickhead. Another thing people do, well, you're gonna cross the street, and this is what a lot of witches do. The female witches, they'll stand in front of me. Well, the males are warlocks, and the powerful ones are wizards. But I'm a wizard too, motherfuckers. Pardon me. I love you all. So they stand facing me. We're gonna cross the street, and essentially what they'll do is, if it's a male, sometimes males will just try to, because they'll try to size up the alpha male. So they'll stand in front, and we'll play the game. Essentially, they'll try to intimidate and walk. And essentially, what I do is I just charge through them, or I should just stop. So, oh yeah, what you do is essentially you can just stop. You can just stop in one spot and allow them to be walking around you, right? Or sometimes what I do is, so which women usually, so what they're trying to do is they're trying to line up in front of you when you're walking. They're trying to steal your energy, because you're focusing on, okay, are they going left? Are they going right? Which way are they going? And people do this on the sidewalk too, even when you see them like a block away, right? And they're walking, there's only left or right? And usually people assign, I don't know why people are so zombies, like they follow the cars. So like the cars are on one side, but if I'm walking on one side, it's like they want me to move on one side because the cars are the same. Why are you guys all following the fucking cars? Walk. If someone's walking on one side, just stay on your side. You don't have to follow cars. Weird people. Anyway, so essentially, people will try to like, you know, block your path, and then essentially what you do here is essentially you just stick to your path, and then essentially if they keep coming, you just walk through them, or you just run through them. You like shoulder check them, just keep running. Oh, sorry, I'm late for something. Or here's another one. Sometimes couples will do this, or it could be even two guys. So one of them is like a little fucker, and they're both beta males, but one of them's an alpha beta male. The alpha beta male will be smaller but stronger personality, and he'll be on the side, and then the other bigger guy will be in the middle. And when walking by, essentially this little fucker will start. Essentially, and females do this too. They start doing this with their boyfriend. They start like bumping into their boyfriend and pushing him into, and you fellas, you should be aware of this too, because if your female is doing this, she's doing some witchcraft with you, fucking around with you, and I don't think that's the chick that you should be with, to be honest. She's probably gonna dump you for the next guy that's better than you. I mean, this is what she's doing. She's trying to size up the other guy, right? So essentially, everyone's mismatched with one another. No one's with their design partner. You have someone specifically designed for you, and you're all mismatched. Anyway, so back to this. So they essentially start like energetically pushing this person to try to cause conflict with me, with my energy. And I have very big energy, so I don't really sit down in front of two people, like near groups. Like if there's a gap of, like, say a bus, and there's a group of people, I've learned that my energy is so big, I can't. I'll annoy people, and it could affect people. So I don't sit right in between like an empty seat and two people there, two people there's one empty. I don't know. I'll just stand until there's an empty spot, right? How else do people try to steal energy? Oh yeah, if you're doing customer service, so there's customers who they like to do a lot of eye contact, and they really get engaged, or sometimes they come in, they're really like making loud, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're trying to like intimidate, right? I find when you're walking on the street, a lot of people try to make you put your head down. They want to have you submit to them energetically. They want you to be afraid, right? So that they steal your energy, right? Or they have a chance to attach a cord maybe to you, because we're always evil is all around us. Evil energy is all around us, and as a shaman, we teach to remove evil energy and shake it off of you, and to do constant energy protection. I think prayer is of course the best protection, and also energy healing and protecting your energy, right? And looking into someone's eyes is the gates, right? The gates of hell, right? So the gates into their soul, right? So you could either meet someone really beautiful and have a good experience, or have a fucking energy vampire steal your energy. But also people who are, yeah, so when people try to get you to look down, I just look up and my chin up and I lock it up. I just keep walking with my chin up and looking straight up. Because people like to fuck around with your energy. What else? Oh yeah, as a customer service, if someone has happened to, so you're in customer service, and there's customers, and they come in, and maybe your job is like, hey, you have to, you know, I mean, some places they say you approach them, but essentially you just wait for them to ask for help, right? Usually normal people do that. But sometimes what witchcraft people do is they'll start pretending to look at the menu. They'll even come in around and they'll start looking at something, and they'll start looking at menus and start thinking. And what they're doing is pretending. They're actually pretending to be interested, because what they're interested in more is your energy. They're interested in you, the empath. Oh, or do they need help? And you're waiting, and you're just like on your toes. They're wanting you to be waiting and waiting. So what you do is you just shut down, just like that person. You just shut down, and you don't face them, and you don't face them like the front, because we're shooting energy this way. You just turn at an angle, and then essentially they'll. That's happened to me when these energy vampires, they come. You start backing away, and you start instead of being engaged, you start detaching, and then you start turning away, and then they're like, oh, I get it. And then you just turn off your brain. All the information goes one ear and it goes to the other. Fuck those people. I dislike a manipulator people. Manipulations. Other ways people try to steal my energy. So remember, anyone that's critical, highly critical, like complaining also. So someone who's critical is taking your way. So they're criticizing you. They're stealing energy from you. They compliment. They're adding energy to you, right? So I like to lift people up. I like to add energy, but people like to be critical of me. And of course, take everything with a grain of salt, because even your enemies who are trying to bring you down, they are telling you something true. So you should, grow from it. But what you do is say, hey, I can change, and I'll show you, motherfucker. And also, okay, what else? Energy. Oh yeah. So if they're complaining to you, complaining, those people, of course, we know that they're just energy drainers. People who like praise, people who like to get their asses kissed all the time, people who trauma dump. As soon as you meet someone and they're trauma dumping, red flag. This is a narcissist, probably. Anyway, this should be enough for now. Peace.